Welcome to Rogers Center. It's game 2 of a 4-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays. Joe Maddon's ball club last night shut out for the 9th time this season, the 6th time they were shut out in the month of August. They have really had problems scoring runs. Top of the order, Jennings, Upton, Ben Zobrist, and the cleanup man is Evan Longoria. He's back at third base. Matt Joyce has been a problem for Brandon Morrow throughout his career. He's 6 for 20 with 2 doubles, a home run. He's driven in 3. Jeff Keppinger makes the start at first base tonight. Luke Scott's the DH. Ryan Roberts, former Blue Jay, is at second base. And Jose Molina, also a former Blue Jay, is behind the plate.
Brandon Morrow made a very solid return, I thought, last Saturday versus the Baltimore Orioles after spending a couple of months on the disabled list with that oblique injury. And I thought he deserved better versus the Orioles. His numbers, didn't show it. He pitched 4 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 runs. Only 2 of them were earned. He was on a pitch count on that game, and they'll add to that tonight. He had 88 in that start against the Orioles. They'll monitor him, and once he gets up at around 95 to 100 pitches for Morrow as he gradually gets stronger.
For the season, the Blue Jays have committed 94 errors. In the outfield, it's Davis, Rasmussen, Sierra, Escobar, and Johnson up the middle. McCoy starting at third base for just the 4th time. Adam Lynn's at first, and Jeff Mathis had a great game behind the plate last night. Is back behind the dish.
And Mike McCoy's been a jack of all trades, I think, for John Farrell's team. He's had some starts in the outfield, third, second. He's had a game at shortstop, and he's done something every time he has started for the Blue Jays.
Brandon Morrow delivers a first pitch strike. We're underway. Desmond Jennings, the left fielder, 247 average. That's kind of a surprise, but that's reflective of this offensive struggle as the Rays have had all year.
And the top of the order for the Rays, they're always looking for the fastball. They're looking on it, and I thought Carlos Villanueva did a good job changing up on him, throwing that changeup and the breaking ball early in the count against these first couple of speedsters, because they're up there hacking.
Yeah, Jeff Mathis said he was very aware that they were going to have to start these 2 hitters off with off-speed pitches, changeups. It worked very well last night. Morrow's ahead 0-2. There's a good fastball. I love that fastball 0-2. I think that's when a hitter is most vulnerable. He's trying to protect the plate, and you throw that good fastball away. It's a hard pitch to get to.
We talked about that in the opening, that's one of the big steps that Brandon Morrow has taken this year, is that fastball command, both sides, but more importantly, down and away, specifically down and away to the right-hander.
Ball is popped up into center field. Bobby Erasmus drifting back. Jennings is retired. It's first out of the ballgame.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Brandon Morrow, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. There's the fastball. It's been 95, 98 miles per hour, but he throws it 60% of the time. He's really leaning on it this season. The slider is a little bit more than what he threw last year, and he has controlled that. The splitter is more of a changeup that he throws this year, just to try to get the hitters off his fastball.
B.J. Upton goes after that high fastball. Upton just 2 for 19 against Brandon Morrow, and that last pitch is exactly the way to attack B.J. Upton.
Up, letter high fastballs up in the strike zone.
A little bit too high. Morrow's got a good fastball early on. You mentioned his fastball command. How much of it is related to his refining his delivery?
I think that has everything to do with it. It's a much more simpler delivery right now.
There's a base hit up the middle. Upton got a fastball and takes it right back over the mound. So Morrow gives up a 1-out single to B.J. Upton.
This time it's up. They wanted it down and away, and it's up. If that ball's down, that makes Upton reach for it, and it becomes a weak ground ball to shortstop instead of a hard hit grounder through the middle.
Ben Zobrist. Zobrist, the shortstop again tonight, and he has taken over every day playing shortstop as Joe Maddon is trying to come up with a combination that will lead to some runs. We mentioned 6 times they've been shut out this month, including last night's 2-0 loss.
And I think we'll see very early why it's imperative to keep Jennings and Upton off the bases. They can both really run. And you just mentioned They have been struggling to score some runs. They've been shut out 6 times this month. Wouldn't surprise me to see him try to get himself in the scoring position.
Upton has 25 steals. Not running. There's a changeup, an off-speed pitch, and Zobrist was out in front. Tom Foley, the longtime third base coach for the Rays, going through the signs. Both Zobrist and Upton picking up on those signs. Ball and a strike. This has always been a good hit and run count. 1-1. Mike McCoy bobbles the ball and now throws to first in time to get Zobrist. McCoy in a rush to get the ball to second and start that potential double play. Dropped the ball and still had time to get the out at first.
To his left, so it should be tailor-made. His momentum is taking him to second base. It's a shorter flip. Pops out of his glove, but he's got the state of mind just to stay right with that ball, pick it up, and get the out. You can see he's upset with himself because he felt that that should have been a double play.
No, that was a tailor-made double play, and he knows it. He just got a little ahead of himself. So now Upton with good speeds in scoring position for Evan Longoria. Two outs. And the first pitch strike. Longoria, 292 for the season. He's got 9 home runs. Had a 2 home run game on Wednesday down in Arlington against the Rangers. There's a foul ball. 0-2, 2 outs. Evan Longoria has been a tough hitter with runners in scoring position. This is risked since 74, the highest batting average with runners in scoring position since 74. Oscar Gamble, Reggie Jefferson, George Brett in that great year in 1980, and then Evan Longoria, 457 with runners in scoring position. This time he hits it to McCoy. And he guns across the infield to end the inning. McCoy hits redemption. He got another shot and makes the play. Brandon Morrow through the first. Tonight against Tampa Bay, they won 2-0 last night. 2 runs on 7 hits offensively. Blue Jays are starting to look a little bit better with the return of Adam Lind in that cleanup spot. He's 3 for 5 against Jeremy Hellickson in his career pair doubles, and he's driven in 3. Rasmus batting second, Encarnacion. Then Yunel Escobar, who's been swinging a hot bat, is average up to 254. Kelly Johnson, Moises Sierra, Matt is behind the plate, and Mike McCoy at third.
Tonight's starter for the Tampa Bay Rays is Jeremy Hellickson. Just 25 years old, makes his 25th start of the season. Lasted only 5 innings in his last game. And starters, or managers, love to see their starters go at least 7 innings. And one of the problems that Hellickson has, he hasn't been able to go that deep. 7 or more innings pitched just 6 times this year for Hellickson in his 24 starts. But he's a dangerous. Throws a lot of strikes, doesn't throw hard. He's got a very good changeup.
Defensively, the Rays have kind of stabilized the situation on defense with the return of Evan Longoria at third and Zobrist playing at shortstop. In the outfield, it's Jennings, Upton, and Joyce. Good speed in the outfield. Zobrist back to his normal position at short. That's where he started his career with the Houston Astros. Former Blue Jay Ryan Roberts at second base. Longoria's third, Jeff Keppinger over at first base. And Roberts and Keppinger, they flip-flop and play a little first and a little...
It's a different side of the infield tonight for the Rays. They had Scott and Keppinger from first and second last night, and that's what Joe Maddon's going to do. He's going to mix and match and try and find a solution to his team to try and score some runs. So tonight it's Keppinger at first and Ryan Roberts at second.
Last night was the 10th time they lost a game in which they'd scored 2 runs or less. That's the most in the majors. Now he's trying to juggle the offense, see if he can't come up with a combination that'll score a little more consistently. Rajay Davis, a ball and a strike. Alexson's got a little more fastball than you might think. Everybody talks about his great changeup, but he can use that fastball effectively as well.
And that's the pitch that has really been struggling with his last couple of starts out, the fastball command.
There's a breaking ball, and B.J. Upton cruises over to his right, makes the catch.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Jeremy Hellickson, Tampa Bay starter. He has just fallen in line just in his second full season. American League Rookie of the Year last year. There's the fastball at 55%, and his average velocity on that fastball is 91, but he sets it up beautifully with a very good changeup. One of the best in the American League. He's got a curveball, and he cuts it just a little bit. But it's been able to, the thing that he has not been able to do over his last couple of starts that we have seen in the past from him is that great fastball command. It's eluded him a little bit.
Just 25 years old as Pat Ben's making his 25th start of the season. Colby Rasmus a little late on the fastball. Rasmus was 0 for 4 in last night's game. Blue Jays had only 7 hits in the ballgame. But that was good enough behind a great effort from Carlos Villanueva and another stellar performance by the bullpen.
Well, when both of these teams match up, you will probably have low hit ball games. The Tampa Bay Ray pitching staff is outstanding, so they're going to make life miserable on the Blue Jay hitters. And right now their offense has not been scoring, and the Blue Jay starters, the bullpen, have been very good.
It's a good off-speed pitch, and Rasmus is in a hole. Popcorn is out early tonight for the Rays starters. Matt Moore, David Price on the railing. James Shields and Alex Cobb in the back row. Elliott Johnson just hanging out. Strike 3 count. There's that fastball as he gets Rasmus looking.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Friday night here at Rogers Center. Good crowd on hand as the Tampa Bay Rays are in town. They have dominated the season series to the tune of 9-3. Edwin Encarnacion had a good rip at that first pitch. Edwin finished up 0 for 3 with a walk. He walked and scored in the first inning on Kelly Johnson's 2-out, 2-run double.
That's where things got a little slippery for Matt Moore last night. He started for Tampa Bay, 2 quick outs and then a couple of walks and a couple of hits, and that was it. And we noticed in that at bat against Encarnacion that he used his changeup a lot. And I was reading some of the quotes from him after the game. He said, "I don't know what happened there. I just kind of got away from my fastball and couldn't find the strike zone for a couple batters."
This is hit a mile high into the outfield. Desmond Jennings, the left fielder over in the alley, makes the catch. Blue Jays go quietly in the first after 1 inning here at Rogers Center. It's a scoreless game. Toronto hits a home run, you can win big. Audio home theater systems and big TVs like an 80-inch Sharp Aquos Quadron. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Brandon Morrow on the mound for the start of the second inning. He'll work to Matt Joyce. Joyce is in right field. Last night he was the DH. As is the case always with Matt Joyce, he looks up and sees the Blue Jays defense playing him to pull on the infield. 3 defenders on the right side of the diamond. Mike McCoy way out there in shallow right. The appeal down to third, and Jim Reynolds said that he went too far.
That's geared up for the fastball and not seeing it before you stride. He was guessing in a certain spot and just couldn't hold up on that one.
He is a fastball hitter and he is a pull hitter. Missed across the plate there. Mathis was set up on the outside corner and he missed the inside corner. 3-1. Walks the leadoff man here in the second. You mentioned Tampa Bay. Offensively, they're down near the bottom in just about every category. Just a club that has missed Evan Longoria's big bat most of the summer. Joe Madden knows that they have to be creative. They have to play hit and run. They'll steal some bases.
And they've had some players that have had some subpar seasons. Guys that they were counting on to have a little bit bigger seasons, and it just hasn't happened for them offensively yet. So you're right, they've had to get creative. And last night's game, Jeff Keppinger got a little creative on his own.
Yeah, we thought that it was kind of unusual that he was bunting in the second inning. Got back-to-back base hits, Longoria and Joyce, and then he dropped down a sacrifice. And after the game, Joe Madden said, you know what, he did that on his own. I'd just as soon see him swing the bat in that situation.
Yeah, go ahead and swing away, because Joe, he doesn't bunt that much anyway.
Brandon Morrow making his second start since coming off the disabled list. He was injured on June 11th. At that time, he was 7-4 with a 3.01 ERA. Through 13 starts, he was dealing.
Blue Jays think something's up again with Matt Joyce at first.
That was interesting there. A little game of chicken. Matt Joyce jumped off and stayed on the artificial surface.
I wasn't sure why he didn't throw over right there. He would have had him. And he had the sign to throw over there. If you were watching the catcher's sign, that little flick of the thumb means throw over. That's shake off. That's throw over. Blue Jays think something is up with the Rays.
Another throw to first. And you know what? These two teams we mentioned, this is the 13th game they played one another, so you know pretty much what the other team's doing. And sometimes a coach on your bench will get you signed. And Joe Madden might not be the guy that's given the sign to Tom Foley, the third base coach. It might be Dave Martinez, the bench coach.
Could even be a player sitting on the bench. Tony La Russa used to have the trainer give the steal sign to Ricky Henderson when he was with Oakland.
Well, that was easy enough to do. Ricky was going to steal all the time.
Maybe he was giving him the stop sign.
Barry Weinberg, the longtime trainer for La Russa in Oakland and later on in St. Louis. But yeah, he'd given that opportunity to put a sign on. Ball on the strike. Keppinger drills it into center field, and Rasmus plays it on a hop. Well, Keppinger, he had a hit last night's game. He gets a hit in his first at bat tonight. Tampa Bay is hanging in the American League East. They're 4.5 back of the front-running Yankees, and you can see where they rank. Their pitching has been fine among the leaders in all the important categories: team ERA, starters ERA, the bullpen. But the team average is 12th, and they are 10th in the American League in runs per game at just 4.0. Their on-base percentage is only .314 coming into this game, and that's just not going to get it done.
And again, some of the reasons why Evan Longoria missed a big chunk of the season, and some of the players that they were hoping to have big years offensively, they've had some subpar years. So now they got to scratch and claw for every run that they can get, and we're in the same situation as we saw in last night's second inning.
I don't think Luke Scott's going to bunt.
No. First two batters got on last night, a couple of hits. That's where the sac bunt one is, and it was Luke Scott's at bat in the second inning, which was really the biggest one early for Tampa.
Second and third, one out, and Luke Scott popped up to the catcher in foul territory. Matty Morris just missing his spots. Had the leadoff walk in this inning. And now he's fallen behind Luke Scott, and this is when Scott's most dangerous.
Yeah, he's a dead red fastball hitter. He likes it down and in. He's a very good low ball hitter.
And he got that ball upstairs, and he was a little bit late on it.
He's battled some shoulder problems this year. Went to the minor leagues to get some at-bats. I was talking to him when we were in Tampa, and he was saying, I'm really close. I really feel good. And he was heading out to get some ABs with the minor league club. He has hit 6 home runs here at Rogers Center in his career.
Scott had shoulder surgery last year, and it took him a while to come back. He had surgery on his right shoulder, and that's an important shoulder for a left-handed hitter. That's that lead arm, and that's where you put most of the pressure on that shoulder. Had a torn labrum in a right-handed thrower, but it really affected him most at the plate. 2-1. Changeup is hit in the air to left. Rajai Davis is there, and Scott's retired. That's the first out of the inning. So with one out, Brian Roberts, the former Blue Jay, will step in the box. Roberts, now 31 years old, originally drafted by the Blue Jays in 2003 in the 18th round. Came to the big leagues for the first time in 2006. Big swing, and Roberts is behind. You can see Torey Lovullo looking at the defensive spray charts, making sure his outfielders are lined up properly. And they put those on the wall every game, and Lovullo will often go back to remind himself where he wants his outfielders.
Yeah, what the matchups are against certain pitchers.
Ground ball through the left side. Rajai Davis comes up throwing. Here's the throw to the plate. Right on the money, and out. Matt Joyce is gunned down at the plate. Rajai Davis throws a strike, and isn't it ironic? The Blue Jays outfielders were out throwing before batting practice today, and Rajai delivers a strike.
And it pays dividends right away. Charging the baseball all in one motion, coming up throwing, and give me a good one hop to that catcher. You've got a lane to throw to, and he does. Look at the hop right to Mathis. And it's there in time where he can catch it, absorb that hit from Joyce, and block home plate. Picture perfect throw right there. That is excellent work by both Davis and Mathis.
Absolutely no tail at all on that throw from Rajai Davis. It was a straight over the top four-seamer, and he threw a strike. That's a catcher's dream right there. Get a one-hop throw right on the money.
Right there. And look at Mathis drop to that one knee and just block him off a home plate. And that front leg will absorb the hit. But it's the throw by Davis, which is perfect for him.
Jose Molina. Brandon Morrow's personal catcher when he was with the Blue Jays. They know each other very well. Five home runs and 22 driven in for Molina. He's catching in his 67th game this year. He's late on that fastball.
He always likes to shoot the ball the other way. He'll pull an off-speed pitch, but his game is just center field, right field. Push that ball the other way. If Morrow makes a mistake with a breaking ball, that's when Molina can get the hands going just a little bit more, and he'll pull it. And he's always looking to go to right field.
Downstairs. I always really enjoyed hitting against pitchers that I caught in the past, just because you know them so well. When I first went to Milwaukee, Dennis Leonard and Paul Splittor and Larry Gore, all those pitchers that I caught in Kansas City, I really had a good feeling against them. Ended up having some good games against them. Molina stays alive. And I just think it's a comfort factor. I mean, you've seen the pitcher from this perspective your whole life. When Morrow and Molina were teammates, I mean, he was his exclusive catcher, and he was back behind there when he had that 17 strikeout game against Tampa Bay.
You get a feel for what the pitcher is thinking in certain counts, so you can kind of guess along with him, and you've had the best seat in the house to watch the ball come into home. Wow, just off the plate.
That's a tough one to take. The only reason to take it is because you can't hit it.
Can't hit it. It's clearly a ball. I mean, it's off the plate, but not by much.
Full count, 2 outs. Keppinger at second, Roberts at first. They'll be off on the pitch. There they go. Molina strikes out. Brandon Morrow puts the finishing touches on the top of the second. Rajay Davis with a strong throw cuts down a run at the plate. Toronto's underserved communities who are given an opportunity of a lifetime. It's a heartbreaking and inspiring story you won't want to miss. Monday on Sportsnet. Diamonds in the Rough. Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. And Ricky Romero will narrate. Should be an interesting watch. And I'm sure Ricky put his heart into it, having grown up in a tough part of Los Angeles.
And we'll be able to watch that because we have a day game on Monday, right?
We do. Adam Lind will start things off, bottom of the second. Lind singled and scored in the first inning. And then he went 1 for 4 on the night. Contrast in styles of pitchers, but boy, when they both get locked into that fastball, they can have quick games, quick innings, and good results.
You know, I think that's the beauty of putting a starting rotation together. I don't think you want to have 5 guys who throw the same way. You want some right-handers and you want some left-handers. I think you want some change-up artists like Hellickson, and you've got some flamethrowers like a David Price. Blue Jays got a hard thrower in Morrow, and they've got a guy with outstanding stuff from the left side, Romero. Jay Happ is different than all of those guys. I think that's the beauty of putting it together.
And you get a lot of different looks as Jeff Neiman will go to the mound tomorrow. In his return to the scene of the crime, if you will, this is where he was hit on the comebacker off the bat of Adam Lind and broke his leg way back in May. But you're right, Price is a classic over-the-top left-hander, much along the lines of Jay Happ. Ricky Romero is a totally different look from the left side than Jay Happ. And goes after that changeup.
Then you've got some heat, who we saw last night from the Tampa Bay starter, from a left-hander. Now you got a right-hander who throws a lot of changeups and off-speed pitches. Could really mess up a guy's timing in a 4-game series.
You see 4 different styles over the course of those 4 games. This ball is ripped into center. B.J. Upton looked like he paused to make sure where it was and then just took off and runs it down just shy of the warning track.
Well, you just wait for a pitch up in the strike zone against Jeremy Hellickson, and then you got to jump on it. That's what Adam Lind gets, and he hits this ball hard. But Upton gets a good read on it. Runs right through that baseball to record the out.
How many times do we see good defenders get an angle on that ball? And that's what he did. He turned his body so he could get a perspective of whether or not that was going to carry over his head, and he runs it down.
First thing you have to do as an outfielder, just turn.
Inel Escobar, the shortstop. It's one down and in off the plate. Molino thought it was a strike. Pop straight back just below our boot. Escobar has an 8-game hit streak. He's 12 for 31 over that 8-game stretch. Had a big game in New York. Wednesday afternoon he had 3 doubles and a 2-run home run. It's just high into left field. Desmond Jennings gets under it. 2 down. Boy, in batting practice today, I tell you what, if I was a starting pitcher, I would have wanted to go inside. The ball was flying out of this place. It was much windier than it is now. The wind has died down, but I'm telling you what, there were balls hit all over in the 4th and off the facing of the 5th deck.
Yeah, and line drives to the outfield were going out, fly balls that would normally not even get to the warning track were going into the 2nd deck. And you're right, if you were a starting pitcher, just turn around and go in and go watch television.
I'm going inside. I don't need to see any more of this.
The hitters, their eyes were huge and they were excited. They were going, whoa, can't wait till 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's calmed down dramatically. It was quite breezy during batting practice, and the ball was just shooting out of there. Kelly Johnson, he did all the offensive damage last night. His 2-run double in the 1st inning, the only runs of the ball game. Curveball. Hellickson won't throw a lot of those, but he tries to drop that on the outside corner.
He gave you something else to think about. Another part of the plate that you have to cover.
One and two outs. Ball is hit high and deep, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. B.J. Upton, the center fielder, in front of the scoreboard out in right. Jeremy Hellickson has set down the Blue Jays in order. 6 up, 6 down. We're scoreless after 2. Report. We're going to check in on Sean Nolan, the big left-hander. He's 6'5", just 22 years old. Look at his record. Between Dunedin and New Hampshire, he's gone 10-0. ERA just over 2. Only 27 walks and 108 strikeouts. Opponents have hit .218 against him. This is his 3rd professional season. He was drafted in the 6th round of the 2010 draft. He came out of San Jacinto Junior College in Texas, which has always produced a lot of great baseball players, and he's starting to make a name for himself in the Blue Jays minor league system.
Big burly left-hander, just 22 years old, and he's in Double-A already. Listed at 6'5", 235, so probably won't see him when the rosters expand because he's not on the 40-man. You'll probably see him in spring training next year.
It's interesting. He comes from Seaford, New York, and he's a northeast guy, so he hasn't pitched a lot of baseball, and I think those are always intriguing guys. It might take them a little bit longer to get it, but when they do, they might be able to stand up a lot longer and be a very successful pitcher. That ball is hit into center field, and Kobe Erasmus is looking up. That ball is gone. There's one of those balls that's flying out of here. That looked like a routine fly ball to center, and it just kept going and going and going, and Desmond Jennings puts the Rays on the board.
Snaps a streak also. Blue Jays shut him out last night, got him the first couple of innings here tonight, but Jennings was not going to be denied. Fastball up and away, and he corks it to right center field. I think it got up into a jet stream there and kept going all the way out into the first deck out there. That's the kind of ball that we saw in batting practice right there.
That's the 3rd career home run for Jennings against Brandon Morrow. He fried out to center his first time up. It's a high breaking ball that up and swings right through. There's a low fastball, and Upton turns on it and pulls it to left. That's 5 hits already for the Rays. Last night they had 5 in the ball game.
Another fastball. It's timed down, sinking that fastball a little bit, and Upton's ready for it.
Brandon Morrow, we mentioned this is just his 2nd start since June 11th. And in that June 11th start, he came out in the 1st inning. So he's just getting his feet on the ground, his timing back.
Again, he was in pitching count his last time out at 85 pitches. He got to 88 against the Orioles, and they said they'd add about 10 or 12 to that one. So 99, 95, 100 pitches tonight for Morrow.
Ben Zobrist grounded to third base his first time up.
You know, it's interesting, Buck, seeing a home run off of Morrow, and I can't remember the last time he gave up a home run. And I'm sitting here thinking and thinking and thinking. You have to go all the way back to April. Remember that day in Kansas City? Eric Hosmer down the left field
Opposite
line?
field, yep.
That's the last home run that Brandon Morrow had given up.
Yeah, he was off to a great start. Zobrist pops it up. Mike McCoy down the left field line makes the catch in fair territory. One down.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Last day of August, and it is a beautiful late summer evening here in Toronto. Evan Longoria, but first a toss to first base. Check in on Upton. Longoria himself is experiencing some rust. He missed a big chunk of the season with a torn hamstring, and timing is challenging for guys that miss a whole lot of games. And you can have all the rehab games you want. It's not the same. And think about the situation for Longoria. He's coming back and facing pitchers, albeit tonight's a different story, but most pitchers have made 25 starts. They're right in the prime of their season.
When you sit out as long as he had, some days you're going to feel like Superman, and you're just going to see everything and crush everything. Next day you could miss everything. Your timing will be messed up. You'd be swinging at pitches in the dirt. That's what ball players, where they play day after day after day, they get into that routine and they get into that continuity and being very comfortable at the plate. When you miss that much time, the worst thing you can do, I think, is try to get it all back with one good day or one good week. You just have to get out there and just play.
Popped up. Mathis takes the mask off, a couple of steps away from home plate, and Longoria is retired. The last 9 games, the Tampa Bay Rays have gone 3-6, and it's been the offense. Obviously, their pitching is very good. They've hit just .228, scored just over 3 runs a game, only 7.3 hits per game. A lot of strikeouts, and they've been shut out 3 times. We mentioned they've been shut out 6 times in the month of August and 9 times this season. And in fact, they have lost a game when they scored 2 runs or less 10 times this year.
Major League most. Think about that. 10th time they lost when allowing 2 or fewer runs. 10 losses.
Yeah, that's tough.
That could easily be W's with a couple of hits here or there.
Matt Joyce. There goes Upton, and Joyce bunts it up the third base line. Morrow bare hands. What a play. Well, Brandon Morrow helping himself out. Joyce taking a shot, trying to keep the inning alive with 2 outs. Morrow got off the mound in good shape, makes a fine barehanded grab. Joyce is trying to push it past Morrow, but he gets over quickly and throws him out. Jays will be in town the 3rd, 4th, and 5th right after Tampa Bay. And then the Mariners come into town for a 3-game set September 11th, 12th, and 13th. Boston Red Sox a 3-game set. And finally, the Yankees are in right at the end of September for 4 games. And for tickets for those great September matchups, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. You can always order your tickets online by logging on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations and pick up your baseball tickets for September. 7-8-9 for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 3rd. They trail 1-0. Moises Sierra, Jeff Mathis, and Mike McCoy. Now the changeup, this one is down in the dirt.
I think Sierra has shown that he can hit the changeup. He stays back really well, keeps his weight back, keeps his hands back. Those are the balls that he has really smoked this year.
There's a ball hit high and deep to left. Jennings looking up. Goodbye, home run. There's that changeup, and he hit it hard for Moises Sierra, his 3rd home run, and we are tied at 1.
You know, and it looked like another changeup from Jeremy Hellickson to Moises Sierra. 78 miles an hour. And Sierra is not going to miss it. Something he hasn't done a lot of on off-speed pitches this year. And when he cranks it, there is no doubt about it. As this ball takes off towards left field, and watch where this one lands. No doubt about it.
22nd home run allowed by Jeremy Hellickson, and just like that, it's a 1-1 game. 3rd career home run for Moises Sierra. It's 17 in AAA.
I think he's a very intriguing player.
Jeff Mathis lines it right to Zobrist, who has to go down to a knee to catch it. A couple of hard hit balls here in the 3rd.
Positioned perfectly with Zobrist playing shortstop, just his 18th start this year, and he's played him perfect right in that hole to take away a hit from Jeff Mathis. But Moises Sierra is intriguing. He's got strength. He's young. I think he wants to learn. I think he wants to be a good player. And he has shown, I think, that he can handle Major League pitching.
Everybody just getting their first look at Moises Sierra. Everybody assumes that young players can hit fastballs, so they try to throw him a lot of off-speed pitches, and he has done all right. Mike McCoy starting at 3rd base for just the 4th time this season. McCoy has made 4 starts at 3rd, 2 at 2nd, 1 in left, and 4 in center.
And every time that John Farrell has put Mike McCoy in, he has done something positive for the ball club. Steal a big base or score a big run. Make a defensive play. He's played all over the diamond pretty much. Made a start in center field and had the luxury of keeping him in the game when they brought Rasmus into the game in New York, and he was able to push him over to right field. He's a pretty good utility player who can play infield and outfield.
It's this curveball to 3rd. Longoria backs up and bounces it across the diamond. Keppinger digs it up. Go back and look at Moises Sierra leading off this inning with a long home run, and this will give you an idea just how well he hit it. The ball's carrying very well. We saw Desmond Jennings' home run go to deep right center, and this ball was up into the seats beyond the fence and left.
Pretty far. And who supplied all the power?
That man right there.
That's right. He supplied it. It was a changeup, and he was able to get his whole body into it. Fastball pitchers, you know, you time it right, they supply the power.
R.J. Davis shows bunt, takes a strike. On the ground, Zobrist takes the short hop and fires on the run to gun down Davis. But the Blue Jays tied up The leadoff man, Moises Sierra, connects off Jeremy Hellickson, his third big league home run. He gets another changeup and knows how to hit the off-speed pitch into the seats. A 1-1 ball game. The lucky winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Sharp. Big is too small a word for it. 1-1 ball game. Brandon Morrow gave up a leadoff home run in the top of the third. And Jeremy Hellickson followed suit in the bottom of the third. Leadoff home run to Moises Sierra. 1-1 game. Jeff Keppinger singled into center field his first time up. Ball is bounced all the way back to the screen. Morrow, the home run he allowed to Desmond Jennings. He hadn't given up a home run since Eric Hosmer in Kansas City. It's 62 innings in between home runs. Morrow's done a great job of keeping the ball in the ballpark this year.
Yeah, that's another step in the right direction. You know, we were talking about him in the opening, some of the things that he has done this year to really take the next step. And do you put him in the same class as the Verlanders and the Hernandez and the Weavers because of strict numbers this year?
2-1.
You know,
upstairs.
Some of the peripherals say that Morrow belongs in that class. Weaver, the whip leaders, he is second. A minimum of 80 innings, and the batting average against just 201, which is number one. But there are some red flags with him.
Durability, consistency. This ball is hit into center field. Rasmus moving to his right. Keppinger is retired. One down here in the top of the fourth. And if you look back on Brandon Morrow's career here with the Blue Jays, 2010, his whip was 138. Opponents hit 248 against him. Those numbers came down in 2011 and dramatically down in this season. But the one thing that keeps him from being labeled a big league ace is the fact that he has dealt with some injuries, and obviously that's not his fault. But to be considered an ace, you got to make 33 starts a season. You got to pitch 225, 230 innings. And that's one of those qualifications of being an ace.
The most he has thrown, Brandon Morrow, 179 in the third. That was last year. But you want to see 33 starts, 34 starts from your big guy, and take it out there every single time.
Upstairs, Luke Scott with a 2-0 count. Got flying out to left field his first time up. Won't pull the downs with that pitch. He had to count in his favor, and he expanded his zone a little bit.
Rising fastball from Brandon Morrow. That's the thing also that he has improved on is, and when he feels like he's starting to come out of it, he knows some of the checkpoints in his delivery that he has to go to, and he can quickly get back in to that proper arm slot of mechanics.
Yeah, he has really made some dramatic strides. And a couple of years ago when the Blue Jays were out in Colorado playing the Rockies, Bruce Walton was in the outfield, and Bob Apodaca, who was the pitching coach at the time for Colorado, said, man, you've done a great job with Morrow. I saw him a lot in spring training when he was with the Mariners, and now he's got a very clean delivery.
Wow. It's almost like he was behind 2-0, said, okay, I'm going to give you 3 fastballs. Let me see what you can do with it. And that last one, 95 miles an hour, upstairs to Luke Scott, a pretty good fastball hitter. And Morrow wins that battle.
I can see where that ball was when Luke offered at it. It was past him, and Morrow beat him with 3 good fastballs. That's called good old-fashioned country baseball. Here it is. Let's see if you can hit it.
That's a big league arm. Also,
Brian Roberts had a single back into second. Well, I think Brandon Morrow now understands what it means to pitch. I mean, there was a time, you know, the Seattle Mariners weren't sure what they had in Morrow, and they flip-flopped him from the pen to the rotation, and that didn't help his development. But once the Blue Jays acquired him, they said, hey, you're going to be a starter, and we're going to be patient with you, and we're going to allow you to refine your mechanics in the big leagues. And he did. And he took some lumps.
Oh, yes, he did. There were a couple of games where he couldn't get out of the first inning or the first couple of innings, and he went back to the drawing board.
This ball is hit into center field. Rasmus on the run. It's over his head, off the wall. Brian Roberts is headed to second, and he'll coast in there with a 2-out double. That ball really took off.
Yes, it did. Another one of those low liners, and I think that was the ball that was really showing a lot of distance in batting practice. It looked like it was going to be caught by Rasmus, but the ball kept carrying on him, and he can't come up with it. He got a good jump on the ball. He was playing a little bit shaded towards right field. But Roberts will pick up the extra base hit.
Jose Molina, strikeout victim, his first time up. That ended the second inning. Molina shoots it down the right side, but it'll slice into the seats. Popped up over near the Rays dugout. Lind is battling that wind, and he stays with it. Molina's retired, and the Rays leave a runner in scoring position. It's a 1-1 game. Kobe Erasmus will start things off, followed by Edwin Encarnacion and Adam Lind. Power stretch in the Blue Jays lineup. enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Always a great perspective in a big comfy green chairs right down there on the field. A great chance to see a good ball game, and right now we've got a 1-1 game. Rasmus, Encarnacion, and Lynn for the Blue Jays to face Jeremy Hellickson here in the fourth. Jeremy Hellickson has an 8-9 record, but he's got a 342 earned run average. That 342 earned run average is 25th in the major leagues. This is popped up into left field. Jennings drifts back a couple of steps. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Baltimore didn't get the scouting report on their season. They weren't supposed to do anything, and now they're looking at a chance to close to within 2 games of the New York Yankees. Boy, they have put together a fine season. They won 7 of the last 10, and they've done a great job. And Miguel Gonzalez is holding the Yankees to 1 hit over 4 innings. He hasn't walked a batter and struck out 5.
Calendar turns over to September 1st tomorrow, and Baltimore can be right there.
High and deep to center field, and Edwin Encarnacion has just left the yard. Wow. Number 35 for Double E.
That's how a big man hits it right there. Pitch out over the plate, and Edwin's got number 35 in the books. You were talking about Jeremy Hellickson and the great earned run average. If there's some warts on his record, it's the home runs. 23 he's given up now. That's a no doubt about it. Every ounce of his swing got into that one. And that one is deep into the 3rd deck. Watch the reaction from Jeremy Hellickson. He has seen that type of swing against him 23 times now this year.
Didn't even want to look at that one. Can tell by the sound of the bat. He squared it up and hit that ball hard. That's his 90th RBI of the season and his 35th home run. But getting back to Hellickson, that earned run average we mentioned, 25th in the major leagues. He's the only losing pitcher in the top 25 with that ERA. Everybody else has a winning record or at least 500. He comes to this game 8-9. So he has pitched well and probably deserves a better fate, but the run support has been a problem. And then, as you mentioned, the home run
at bad times.
Curveball pulled foul.
Yeah, Edwin Encarnacion came across the plate and had something to say to Molina. I don't know if it was throw me another fastball inside, or I don't know, throw me another changeup. I'm not sure. But Edwin had a message for Molina.
Former teammates, of course. Molina with the Blue Jays in 2010, 2011. This is his first year with Tampa Bay. 2-2. Full count. Well, this place is still buzzing over that Encarnacion home run. Sierra and Edwin both going deep. Lynn goes the other way. It's a base hit. Boy, he stayed right on that breaking ball. Looked like Hellickson was trying to drop that hook away, and Lynn was all over it.
I think he's at his best when he is taking the ball the other way when he has to, or pulling it when they pitch him inside. This time backdoor breaking ball tried to mess him up, but he stayed right with it. Inside out swing. And got it past a diving Longoria for his first hit of the night.
Blue Jays have just 3 hits, but 2 of them have been home runs. Yunel Escobar, the Jays shortstop. You just have to imagine, and I know it's hard to avoid, but the Rays pitchers probably feel like they've got to throw shutouts every time they go to the mound. They just want your team struggle so frequently to score runs that you feel like you have to pitch a perfect game. On the ground, Zobrist to second, Roberts to first, double play. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead on the 35th home run of Edwin Encarnacion. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. On a home run. One lucky fan will bring the game home with their new Sharp home theater system. To see if you've won, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. And that is a big home run into the third deck in deep center field. And that has given Brandon Morrow a 1-run lead.
Here's the only guy that has hurt Morrow tonight. Desmond Jennings homered his last time up. And remember, that was a fastball that was away. So he starts him off with a breaking ball. Maybe you try going inside with that good heater.
Now Jennings has now hit 3 home runs against Brandon Morrow. There's a changeup he really pulled away from Jennings. Jennings is now 4 for 8 with 3 home runs. That's about as good as Zobrist against Villanueva.
Yeah.
Speaking of Carlos Villanueva, he pitched a great game last night. He was taken out of the game after 6 innings, shutting out the Rays on just 5 hits. He was under the weather last night, and that's why John Farrell made the change when he did. And Carlos came to the ballpark today and felt even a little worse, so they sent him home, and hopefully he'll be able to get some rest and recover and take his spot next time through the rotation. Boy, he's pitched well.
He was good yesterday. Good breaking ball. He mixed his pitches well.
Jennings got underneath this one. A high fly ball to left. 1 down. We talk about Brandon Morrow and how he stacks up with some of the best pitchers in the American League, and you look around and he is better than all of these impact starters in opponent's batting average in the minimum of 80 innings pitched. They're hitting just 201 against Morrow. Weaver, Verlander, Hernandez, and Carlos Villanueva is right there as well.
How about that? Blue Jays have 2 of the top 5 opponents' batting average against in the American League, minimum of 80 innings. Carlos Villanueva at 220, and Brandon leading everybody.
BJ Upton a little tardy on that fastball.
He wasn't going to let him catch up to his breaking ball, which he got for a hit last time up. Upton singled to left field off a breaking ball. That time he really tied him up with his fastball.
Upstairs. With so many moving parts, is there a particular area to BJ Upton's approach that becomes more vulnerable?
Well, I think you can jam with a good hard fastball. The only thing that I would do differently is make sure he gets that front foot down. At times it's just not down when he's ready to swing. He becomes a little tardy, like you say, and he's a little late on the fastball, and swing gets a little long. But if he can get that front foot down a little bit sooner, a la Jose Bautista. When Bautista came here, he had the higher leg kick. And the only change they made was, hey, get it down a little bit earlier, start it earlier, and the home run started coming off his bat.
Well, that's a good breaking ball in a good spot. Not much Upton can do with that pitch. BJ's 2 for 2 tonight.
When you've got all those moving parts, like you say, good sliders will give you problems. And it gives him problems right there.
3 strikeouts tonight for Brandon Morrow, and among the Blue Jays pitchers throughout the franchise history. Minimum of 60 starts. Morrow trails only Roger Clemens in strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. He's ahead of A.J. Burnett, Kelvin Escobar, and Juan Guzman. Escobar and Guzman had big arms, and of course Guzman had that great slider that everybody thought was a forkball.
Even his own teammates. I'll tell you what,
yep.
That's an impressive list right there of strikeout pitchers.
Ben Zobrist is 0 for 2.
Guzman would throw that slider in batting practice in spring training, and you would have swore it was a splitter. It had so much movement on it.
Bray had a great arm, didn't he?
Yeah. I hated playing first base when he was on the mound, because I had to receive those pickoff throws from him. From the pitcher's mound. He threw so hard over there.
Zobrist backhanded by Kelly Johnson on the money. Oh, good defensive play by Kelly Johnson, taking the shot on the backhand and throwing out Zobrist to end the inning. Defense has been good in support of Brandon Morrow. Live or on demand on your favorite device. MLB.TV Premium now also includes a free subscription to At Bat 12. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Lots of great games coming up in the month of September. This is the last day of August. The baseball season is down to the final month and a couple of days of October. We'll go into the first 3 days of October. Blue Jays will finish up with the Minnesota Twins right here at Rogers Center, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
This is when the pennant races start to heat up, when everybody in baseball starts taking notice. That Labor Day weekend, where everybody is.
Now, it's really interesting. There's so much focus put on the end of the season, but I bet you Mike Scioscia and the Angels are thinking about April. Kelly Johnson pulls it foul. The Angels got up to a terrible start. Remember, Albert Pujols was hitting 200 with no home runs. Hit his first home run against the Blue Jays. But they had an 8-15 record in April. Wouldn't you think they'd like to replay April?
Yeah, and maybe just get a couple of more wins in there. Inch a little bit closer. That was also the time that we were out there, about the time that they made the switch and brought some young kid up from the minor leagues.
Yeah. They'd probably like a do-over on that too. Hey, Mike, we're going to send you to the minor leagues to start off. We don't think you're quite ready. Mike Trout didn't come up and contribute in April, but boy, oh boy, he's taken that team over since he was called up from the minor leagues.
I think he's got the Rookie of the Year in the bag, and now it's just, does he have enough to become the MVP?
Kelly Johnson starts things off with a leadoff walk. Nobody out, one man on. Let's check in with Jamie Kemp. Doug Fister on the mound for the Tigers against Jake Peavy. Put up or shut up time for those two teams and get a chance to play each other. Chicago holds a 3-game lead over Detroit, and Kelly Johnson is hung up on a botched hit and run, and he gets back. As Molina unloaded in a hurry, and Kelly Johnson breaks, and you can see Sierra didn't swing at it, and Johnson just scampered back. Boy, what a heads-up play. Not to panic, not to think about getting in a rundown, just turn and hustle back to first base.
Yeah, it looked like the hit and run was on, and that's the problem that you have when you've got new kids coming up from the minor leagues. They miss signs. You can only guess that Sierra might have missed the hit and run there.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Zobrist steps on the bag, goes to first, and just like that, that leadoff walk is erased. A 6-3 double play. Boy, that hit and run could have been a situation where at least they get one base runner in scoring position.
Yeah, you'll trade an out for 90 feet for a hit and run. Ideally, you'd love to have a base hit, but you'll trade out that run. You'll take the ground out just to move that runner into scoring position, take a couple shots with Mathis and McCoy. But now, after that was messed up, the double play, John Farrell's got to start all over.
The Jays have hit into 2 double plays so far. Jeff Mathis lined out to Ben Zobrist, the shortstop. His only time up. Off the end of the bat. Fair ball. Keppinger will step on the bag, and the inning is over. A promising start. Blue Jays are sat down in order. We have played 5 innings, and it's a 2-1 game. Brandon Morrow back for the 6th. The Under-18 World Junior Championships are on in South Korea, and last night Canada had a thrilling comeback in the 9th inning. They were down by 2 with 2 outs, and they had a 2-run home run to tie it. They went in extra innings, and they won on a wild pitch, 6-5. They beat the powerhouse Japanese team, and they are playing Italy tonight. It'll start at 9 p.m. Toronto time. They're playing in South Korea, but good luck to that Under-18 team managed by Greg Hamilton. Chris Rietzma is the pitching coach, and Cal Quantrill is on that team, Paul Quantrill's son, and he pitched an inning in last night's game and did a good job. Jesse Hodges hit a 2-out, 2-run home run to push the game into extra innings, and then Hodges scores the winner on a wild pitch. High fly ball into center off the bat of Evan Longoria. 1 down.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful night in Toronto, and the CN Tower is all aglow with the beautiful lights.
It's not that high, is it? It doesn't look that high right now, does it?
Piece of cake. It's dark. That's what I mean. Canadian National Exhibition is on this weekend. It's the final weekend of the CNE, and lots of people in town for a long weekend. Owen 2 to Matt Joyce. The Rays have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and they have fallen from 2.5 back of the Yankees to 4.5 back. And they also had a 2.5 game lead in the wild card race. They've seen that evaporate. And that's the problem you have this time of the year. You're running out of games. You don't have a chance to make them up. Early in the season, you say, well, we have a losing streak. We just got to get hot. Well, right now, you have a losing streak, and you don't have any games to make up. There you see the wild card race. And how about Oakland?
That's amazing what the Oakland A's have been able to do, and they lead the wild card with that 73-57 record.
That's a fair ball. Mathis gets on it quickly. No, it trickles into foul ground. Just as he picked it up, he went after it while it was still in fair territory, and it just trickled outside the foul line. James Hoy, the home plate umpire, was trailing Mathis, and it's a good call.
Yeah, all it takes is a seam of that baseball to be in the foul territory for the home plate umpire to call it. It's off the end of the bat, and initially Joyce does it run, not real sure, and then he realizes that ball is fair, and then right at the last minute it's picked up and thrown to first and called foul, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah, when Mathis got on it, he knew that Joyce didn't break out of the batter's box, and he saw it fair, and when he reached for it, it just curled into foul ground. Strikes out. That's a full strikeout for Brandon Morrow. 2 outs here in the 6th.
Still got plenty of heat. As Morrow reaches back and says, okay, that'll be enough. As he throws it by Joyce. Getting stronger now as he works into the 6th inning.
Jeff Keppinger 1 for 2. Tampa Bay has out-hit the Blue Jays 6-3, but the Jays have a 2-1 lead. Because the Blue Jays have out-homered the Rays 2-1. Brandon Morrow probably has the freedom to throw about 90, 95 pitches tonight. Keppinger lines it to left. Rajai Davis misses it. Goes all the way to the wall. Keppinger is around second, and he will stop there as Rajai Davis dove, reached for it, and it eluded his glove, went all the way to the wall. Keppinger ends up at second. had some thoughts about going to third,
yeah.
but with 2 outs, didn't want to gamble.
Yeah, it says I'm already in scoring position. That's a good play right there by Rajai Davis. 2 outs in a 1-run ball game. You're going to try and get your pitcher out of this inning, so you come hard like he does, and he just misses it, just out of his reach. Ball hit hard by Keppinger to left field. It's dying quickly, and that's what you want to do. You want to lay out for your pitcher to try and end the inning. Hope that your center fielder is back there to back you up, which he is, and holds him to a double.
Rajai Davis has already saved Morrow a run tonight. He threw out Matt Joyce at the plate in the 2nd inning. 14th double of the season for Keppinger. Luke Scott's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And tying runs in scoring position at second.
Now the infield right here, you got to want the baseball. There's a lot of holes in the infield because of Luke Scott. You can see where the third baseman Mike McCoy's playing, where the shortstop's playing, and the second baseman. That's some big holes right there for Scott to shoot for.
They're all playing deep to give themselves a little extra range. Off-speed pitch, and Morrow drops it in there. It's 2 balls and a strike to Luke Scott.
Anticipate the ball hit to you if you're one of those infielders. And if you can't come up with it cleanly, the next best thing is just try and knock it down. Dive for it, smother it, keep it in the infield.
2-1, 2 outs. Another off-speed pitch, and Scott has been in between against Morrow all night. Remember last time, Morrow fell behind 3-0 and poured 3 fastballs by Luke Scott. This time he gets a high breaking ball call.
Yeah. 2-0, couple of breaking balls now to get back into the counts.
You think Scott's looking for a fastball?
I'm thinking that Brandon Morrow is thinking about throwing that fastball. I don't know if he wants to throw him 3 breaking balls in a row. Maybe the hard slider.
2-2. Breaking ball and got him. Well, Brandon Morrow, that's his 5th strikeout. 2nd time he gets Luke Scott. That closes out the Rays' threat in the top half of the 6th. There are 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Aquos. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today. John Farrell checking in with his starter, Brandon Martin. You can see there was no handshake. That was a little of how you feel. Good. Thank you very much. See you later. Morrow has thrown 90 pitches, and he threw some of his best pitches of the night in the top of the sixth. Had a couple of strikeouts and was able to get around that 2-out double by Jeff Keppinger. This has got to be the same old song and dance for Tampa Bay. They're getting a well-pitched game, but trail 2-1. Mike McCoy jumps on the first pitch. Matt Joyce comes in. 1 down. Now we talk about Jeremy Hellickson coming into this game with a 3.42 ERA and a losing record. Since May 21st, he's 4.9. ERA is respectable, 3.77 to whip. But he's had 2 runs or less in support in 10 of his last 16 starts.
You have to be almost perfect to win those type of ball games, and my hat's off to him. That he gets out there and he just keeps battling. He just goes out and does his thing. Joe Madden, his starting pitcher tonight, he feels for him.
Yeah, and Joe Madden always understands, you control what you can control, and Hellickson's doing a good job of that. He's pitching. He's not worrying about run support. He's just trying to make good quality pitches and keep his team within striking distance. He's done that so far. Another pop-up out of play. We mentioned Joe Madden, and we just want to let you know there's a great column online written by our pal Scott Carson. It's on sportsnet.ca talking about Joe Madden and what a great manager he is, and the title of it is A Leader of Men, and he does a good job skippering this Tampa Bay team. What a turnaround in the organization since Joe Madden has taken over.
Well, he's a people person, first of all. The guys want to play for him because he, on top of thinking outside the box and doing things unconventionally in baseball, he cares about each one of his players, and the players care for him. Talks to him in a real way.
And he doesn't worry about the small stuff. He's not into a lot of dress codes, not into a lot of rules. The guys love playing for him. You see him out here today. Pitchers throwing a football around, having a good time, and they're acting like young guys enjoying what they do.
He also doesn't think batting practice is that big a deal in August and September. You're just running out of gas in your tank. You're just on fumes this time of the year. So anytime that you can save a guy's legs or a guy's arms in batting practice, you save a day here and there.
2-2, 1 out. Changeup, and Davis strikes out. Hellickson gets the strikeout. It's the second out here in the bottom of the sixth. We mentioned Joe Madden, how he thinks out of the box. He's got these great pitchers that can really keep him in a ball game, and all you got to do is come up with a run here and there, and you're going to put yourself in a position to win. Colby Rasmus. Colby's 0 for 2. Madden incorporated the themed trips on the road trip over the last several years. It started in 2008. Last year they had 6 themed road trips where they'll wear pajamas on a trip one time. The next time they wore Navy SEALs t-shirts, Team 6 t-shirts, and lightning caps. They had a trip last year called the Grunge Trip, where everybody just wore whatever they wanted to.
Going out to Seattle, I believe.
That was to Seattle, June 1st and 2nd. And then the Lightning t-shirt and caps. That was coming to Toronto and Minnesota during the Stanley Cup playoffs last April. So he makes these guys forget that they're professional baseball players and that they're young guys having a good time. Boy, that ball is ripped, but well foul. It bounced in that 5th deck.
And it stayed up there. The fan's going to get a souvenir all by himself. There you go. Watch how far, as Colby Rasmus pulls this fastball, how far it goes, and it stays up there in the 5th deck, but well foul.
And that lucky fan got a baseball. Probably not thinking about getting a foul ball way up there. 2-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Jays up 2-1. Fastball off the outside corner. Full count.
This is where Hellickson gets tough right here. After he's thrown a couple of fastballs, he might try one of those patented change-ups right here.
Popped up, middle of the infield. Evan Longoria, the third baseman, over in front of second base, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Hellickson retires the Jays in order. We'll go to the 7th. Blue Jays up by a run. Season is just around the corner, and Thursday night football comes your way beginning September 13th with one of the best rivalries in sports, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. The NFL on Sportsnet all season long. Beautiful shot of downtown Toronto. 7th inning, 2-1 ball game. Brandon Morrow really breaks off a good slider to start the inning. Roberts out in front.
They're again trying to push him up to about 100 pitches, and he sits at 91. A quick inning would do wonders for the makeup of this ball game. It would make life a lot easier for the Blue Jays than they just have 2 innings to cover out of that bullpen.
Get over there. Hot shot gloved by Lynn, and Morrow steps on the bag. You could hear Jeff Mathis say, "Get over there." Sometimes pitchers will throw a pitch and forget about breaking to first base, but Mathis was all over Morrow. Say, "Hey."
Listen to it right here.
Get over there.
You could hear it again. Ryan Roberts can run, and there was no way that Adam Lynn was going to be able to beat him to the bag. The only play was Lynn to Morrow for the out. A little friendly reminder from his catcher.
Yeah, and you know what? You do this all the time in spring training. You remind the pitcher, "Hey, you got to get over there. Ball hit to the right side." You do it especially with left-handed bats. But when a right-hander does it, sometimes pitchers forget about breaking toward first. Jose Molina 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Bullpen is starting to go to work. Steve Delabar, the right-hander, is loosening up.
Cross up. Looked like Molina was looking for the breaking ball. Morrow threw a fastball right down the middle.
Sometimes you're Knowledge hurts you.
You can outthink yourself.
Ground ball. Kelly Johnson has plenty of time. Molina sweet time. He's 0 for 3. Brandon Morrow took a while to get settled into this ballgame. His first strikeout was Molina that ended the second.
And it was a big one after a walk and a single set the stages. They also had a single, and Rajay Davis picked him up by throwing the runner out at the plate. And now he has settled in using that fastball and using that slider. He has just given up a double to Roberts and a double to Keppinger since the second inning, or excuse me, the third inning. Mowing him down as he pours it on to 100 pitches.
Desmond Jennings has driven in the only run for Tampa Bay. That was the leadoff home run in the third. We mentioned Brandon Morrow. 62 and a third innings between home runs. April 23rd in Kansas City in the third inning to this game tonight. That's the third longest homerless streak in the majors this year. Josh Beckett had a streak from May 15th to August 8th. 80 and a third innings without giving up a home run. And Johnny Cueto of your Cincinnati Reds. 80 innings. He too from the end of May 25th to August 2nd without a home run.
You know what's impressive about those two pitchers?
Ballparks.
The ballparks they play in.
Fenway Park and Great America Ballpark, both hitters' parks. So Brandon Morrow is right there. Kevin Herrera, the relief pitcher. Kansas City. 61 and a third. There's Morrow's line for the ball game. 6 2/3, 7 hits. The Desmond Jennings home run, the only blemish.
Yeah, he wasn't about to let Jennings tee off on a 3-1 fastball.
This is another aspect of Morrow's game that is putting him into that elite class. He sees the finish line in this inning.
Yeah. Reaching back.
That's a fair ball. McCoy dives but can't knock it down, and Jennings will get to second. His second hit of the night. A 2-out double, and he's in scoring position, and he represents the tying run.
You can see the Blue Jays in the 7th inning do not play the third baseman on the line. Usually in a 1-run ball game, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, you take away no doubles, but they play the percentages thinking that Jennings was not going to pull Brandon Morrow. He does on a 3-2 breaking ball. And after that double, Brandon Morrow's night is finished.
He'll get a nice round of applause for his first start here at Rogers Center since June. It's a good one. 7th inning, goes 6 2/3 and gets a nice attaboy from Pete Walker, who is serving as the pitching coach. But Morrow does a great job, and he'll turn things over to Steve Delabar, who has been terrific since joining the Blue Jays.
Boy, he certainly has. 3-1 with 383 earned run average. Tons of strikeouts, a bushelful, 12.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Done mostly with a good fastball and a devastating split finger fastball that drops right off of the table.
Delabar was originally signed by the Padres way back in 2003. He did not play that season as he signed late. Off the end of the bat, Kelly Johnson over to his left, and Delabar does his job. He strands a base runner. He gets the only out here in the 7th inning, and Brandon Morrow leaves with a chance to win. John Farrell as Matheson and Morrow teamed up to really pitch tonight. And if we look at his line, 6 2/3, 8 hits. He allowed just 1 run. That was a solo home run off the bat of Desmond Jennings. But the wipeout strikeout pitch later in the ballgame really turned the game around for Morrow.
Yeah, it certainly did. That slider down and away. Got Joyce in a big situation, Scott in a big situation in the 6th inning. Made a good pitch to Desmond Jennings. A good hitter hit a good pitch. So good night. Let's see if the bullpen can hold it now for Brandon Morrow.
Edwin Encarnacion has put Morrow in a position to win this ball game. His 35th home run came in the 4th with 1 out. And it was a monster shot to deep left center. Well, he was looking on that breaking ball and just pulled it foul. A pretty good cut.
Well, it's been impressive to watch Edwin Encarnacion all season long, beyond everything. And that's tough to do.
His previous highs in home runs, 26. He hit in 2008 with Cincinnati. He's now hit 35. His previous high in RBIs, 76 in 2007. And with that home run in the 4th, that was his 90th RBI.
Yeah, and each month, the home run swing has been there. He hasn't gone into like long droughts.
That ball's going to get down and bounce in front of Desmond Jennings. Encarnacion with his 2nd hit of the night. A man on, nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, Pittsburgh having their problems, and certainly the loss of a starting pitcher. Pirates are 9 games back. Jeremy Hellickson gives up the leadoff single, and his night has come to an end. He allows just 4 hits, but he trails 2-1. Jake McGee into the ball game for Tampa Bay. Sixth appearance of the season. It's a pretty wicked 1-2 punch. They have J.P. Howe and Jake McGee from the left side.
J.P. Howe, fastball, breaking ball. This is pure power right here from Jake McGee. 55 games, 5-2, and ERA just above 2, and a bunch of strikeouts. He comes right after with a good fastball and a sharp breaking ball. Lefties, a little bit of a surprise, hitting .290 against McGee this year. So he'll face Adam Lynn, Escobar, and then Kelly Johnson in the middle of the order, a couple of them being left-handers. Lefty's going to have to stay on him and think about hitting that ball the other way.
And that's what Lynn did his last time up against Hellickson. He had a breaking ball to left field for a single. He also smoked the ball into center field that B.J. Upton ran down, a line drive almost to the warning track. Encarnacion with 2 of the 4 Blue Jay hits.
And Encarnacion having some discussions with the first baseman Keppinger. They were teammates together in the Cincinnati Reds organization in 2007 and 2008. So we have John with his ex-teammate over there. You can see he is looking in. He would pick up a sign from Molina.
Just off the plate. Ball and a strike. McGee's got that big fastball, but he didn't have that wipeout breaking ball that's so effective to left-handers.
When he throws it in the strike zone, it's pretty darn good, but he just hasn't been able to control it. Nothing wrong with that fastball.
Mentioned earlier that the Rays lost last night 2-0. That was the 10th time they lost a game in which they allowed 2 runs or less. And they're in the same boat tonight. That's the most losses of that nature in the major leagues. Two balls, 2 strikes to the Blue Jays first baseman. Encarnacion, 13 for 16 in steals this year. He's running a very good clip.
It's a good percentage, but they've also been big stolen bases. Some of them, when they needed them, when the Blue Jays need some of those stolen bases, he has come up big for them.
Strike 3 call. McGee got that fastball on the outside corner. Then thought it was off the plate. Discusses it with James Hoy. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. McGee gets a big strikeout from Adam Lynn.
Like he went right after him, right on that outside corner, according to the home plate umpire. But you can see Molina really pull that ball back. And that's why Lynn was a little upset. Thought that ball might have been outside.
Yeah, oftentimes when a catcher has that much movement, the umpire won't ring up the batter. I mean, that's a red flag to me. If the catcher thinks it's outside, why should the umpire call it? Yunel Escobar has popped up and grounded into a double play.
Well, this will tell if it caught part of the plate. Yeah.
That's a strike for me.
Yeah.
It touches that outside corner. And I think Molina moved the glove a little bit more than he had to. Ball and a strike, 1 out. Escobar gets jammed and checks his bat. He's going to need a new one. Joe Madden looking at his lineup card, saying how he can come up with another run. In the top half of the 8th, it'll be Zobrist, Longoria, and Joyce for Tampa Bay. 1 and 2. Fly ball to right, but Joyce has it measured and makes the catch. 2 down. Encarnacion jogs back to first. So McGee gets the first 2 he faces coming into this ball game. Now you have another left-hander to deal with in Kelly Johnson.
Run's tough to come by against Tampa Bay. This might be a spot where we might see Encarnacion maybe try and pick up 90 feet on a stolen base. Take your chance. You got a left-handed batter up there. That will distract the catcher a little bit, block him off.
Well, and 2, he's had, now this is the 3rd at bat while he's been at first base. So he's had a lot of looks at Jake McGee, and he can get a pretty good gauge on the timing as McGee releases the ball to the plate. Kelly Johnson hits it off the end of the bat. Zobrist rounds it and throws Johnson out. That ends the inning. Jake McGee does a nice job of getting out of the 7th. It'll be Zobrist for the Rays, then Longoria, Matt Joyce.
Rajay Davis, we've seen him before with his glove and his bat and his legs helping the ball club. Tonight it's going to be his arm. He charges this ball and he throws a strike to the plate to get Matt Joyce to knock him out. Rajay Davis comes hard and he'll pick up his 5th outfield assist, which ties him for 2nd on the Blue Jays. Jose Bautista leads with 11. Colby Rasmussen, now Rajay Davis with 5 outfield assists. None bigger than that one right there.
The Blue Jays outfielders were out throwing prior to batting practice today. A couple of throws to second for Davis and then a couple of throws to home. And we have seen this happen a lot. When they have a little practice, they come out throwing the ball very well. Certainly the difference in this ball game.
Yeah, great play by Davis with the charge and the throw. And the great block by Mathis at the plate.
Sierra, Rasmus all out getting their throws in prior to the game. Just trying to get their timing down. Couple of nasty splitters from Steve Delabar.
Don't throw one straight right now. Ben Zobrist, the first couple, he had a lot of trouble with that splitter.
Steve Delabar is 6'5". He weighs 220. And he's a big, powerful guy. Goes after that splitter, and Zobrist lays on. Boy, Delabar has been a great addition to this bullpen. And Blue Jays obviously have had few opportunities to rack up wins, but since the bullpen has been revamped, whenever they have a lead, they've been pretty good at closing the door.
You've got a lot of options out there now. The numbers that Delabar can throw in Brandon Lyons since they have come here in the trades. Look at these numbers. I mean, these are off the charts. Opponents hitting .211 against Delabar, just .164 against Brandon Lyon. But what's impressive is all the strikeouts.
That's very demoralizing to your opponents when they can't even get anything going. You saw Brandon Lyon's whip was under 1. And he's been great. He'd probably like to have another day off tonight, given the fact that he worked so frequently on that last road trip. And it looks like he's just kind of chilling tonight. Casey Jansen picked up his 18th save of the season in last night's game. He's done a great job as the closer. Two and two.
You know, the pitch that has been the big pitch for Delabar has been that split. I knew he threw one, and we saw just a little bit of him early in the year when he was with Seattle. I didn't know it was so good. And it really tumbles towards home plate and gets a lot of swings and misses.
There it is. Man, that's a tough pitch. Zobrist swung at it 3 times in that at bat, and finally he strikes out. Another strikeout for Delabar.
Well, when you complement it with the fastball that he has, and he throws it out of that arm slot and the same arm speed, you got to choose one or the other as a hitter. Either look for the fastball or look for the splitter, because you can't do both. Zobrist strikes out, swinging at 3 splitters.
This is the final day of August, and in order to add a player that can be eligible for the postseason, you have to add him before midnight tonight. Tampa Bay has just added Ben Francisco to their team. Francisco, of course, started out the season with the Blue Jays. They acquired him from Houston. And we have been talking all night long about the offense, and they're just taking a shot, coming up with some kind of different look, seeing if they can't spark the offense a bit.
Maybe a right-hander that can help them, either off the bench or spot starting. Wow. 87 miles an hour with that splitter. Darren Oliver, who was great last night, just in case as he starts to get ready.
That's the guy Oliver is ready for. 1-2, 1 out. We mentioned the trade deadline tonight. With that, Atlanta has added Jeff Baker to their ball club, who was put on waivers by the Tigers. We saw Baker in that last series. He played in right field and then filled in the infield late in a couple of games. 2-2. Fastball blew him away. 94 with the heater. Delabar. 2 strikeouts to start this inning.
Well, I told you got to contend for the splitter or contend with the fastball. It's tough to hit both of them. That time he got ahead with the splitter and polished him off with the fastball.
John Farrell has Oliver ready, but he likes the way that Delabar is throwing. The Rays don't have a right-handed bat per se on the bench. Elliott Johnson and the catcher Jose Lobaton are switch hitters. But Joe Maddon's going to stick with his regular right fielder, Matt Joyce.
Yeah, and I think the numbers, John Farrell's also looking at the numbers, how well Delabar has handled the lefties this year. And just in case, here's something to think about right here. If he loses Joyce, walks him, then they pinch hit Carlos Pena to face Delabar. Then he can bring Oliver in to face Pena.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that factor into a manager's decision. What he has seen from Delabar in this inning.
Yep.
He strikes out Zobrist, and then he blows a fastball by Longoria. And one question managers always ask themselves, is the guy down in the pen better than the guy that's in the game? Not right now.
Got under that one just a little bit. Runs the count full.
Full count, 2 outs. Delabar retired Upton to end the 7th. Strikes out the side in the 8th. Matt Joyce goes down swinging at that split finger pitch. Delabar continues to rack up the Ks. 3 strikeouts in the 8th, and we will go to the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays up 2-1. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Picks up a foul ball and then walks it over to a young fan. And look at that. That's a great picture. A young fan, a very happy fan now. And she's got a new friend, George Hendrick, the first base coach for the Tampa Bay Rays. Kyle Farnsworth into the ballgame. Just his 22nd time he has pitched this season.
36 years old now, holding opponents to 150 batting average, 20 appearances this season. You can see Farnsworth, he's been around. He was the closer for this team. And then an injury set him back. Fernando Rodney took over. And he's a different pitcher than the one we saw earlier in his career. Still has a good fastball, but I think he's a little bit more under control with his body. He's got a little bit more control with his pitches, and his numbers have been great.
It's a very good bullpen. And they're good because they haven't had to pitch an awful lot. The starters have carried themselves deep into ball games, and with that, the matchups have been very favorable for Tampa Bay. Moises Sierra hit his third big league home run in the third inning. That tied the game at 1-all. And then in the fourth inning, Edwin Encarnacion hit a one-out home run. And that's been all the scoring all night. 2-1 ball game. Kyle Farnsworth began his career with the Chicago Cubs, came to the big leagues as a starter in 1999. He went 5-9 that year, and then just 5 more starts the next year, and then he went into the bullpen and has pitched well. Had 25 saves a year ago for Tampa Bay, but as Pat mentioned, an injury cost him his closer's role early, and then Fernando Rodney just took it and ran with it.
And how nice to have a guy like this. He was always a triple digits guy, but not anymore.
Sierra lifts it into right field. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Boy, what a pickup Gio Gonzalez has been. Gio Gonzalez, as Jamie mentioned, he has gone 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Got a 3.14 ERA.
It cost him a ton of prospects,
yeah,
but it was worth it for the Nationals.
There's a possibility that the Oakland A's and the Nationals could meet up.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it was quite a trade they made, and Nationals gave up a lot of prospects, including their catcher now in Oakland, Derek Norris. But they got the man they wanted, Gio Gonzalez. Bottom of the 8th inning in a terrific ball game. Blue Jays a 1-run lead. Mathis popped it up. Shortstop Zobrist calling for it. He makes the catch.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
2 outs, the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 1-run game. Tampa Bay has lost 10 of their last 11 1-run games. Goes back to July 21st. Their lone win coming against the Blue Jays. They had a 3-2 win by Alex Cobb on August 8th. That's the only 1-run game they've won in their last 11. Mike McCoy, a little tapper out in front of the plate. Farnsworth made a nice play. He slipped a bit with his right foot, but he's got the arm strength to make the play. He has a good inning of work. Blue Jays go down in order in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. It's a 2-1 game, and Casey Jansen on for a second consecutive night, looking for a save. Casey Janssen working in his third straight ball game. This is the second time he's done that this year. The last time he did it was way back at the end of May against Baltimore. So he's looking for his 19th save and make a winner out of Brandon Morrow.
Saved the game in New York, saved the game last night, and now gets the bottom 4 for the Rays here in the ninth.
Well, he's done this all year long. First pitch strike to Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger's had a good night, a 2-hit night. He singled and doubled. He is 2 for 3. Steve Delabar with a terrific outing again tonight. An inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. He struck out the side in the 8th.
Yeah, and it was 3, 4, 5. Their best hitters this season. Zobrist, Longoria, and Joyce. So now Casey Janssen. Got to get that first guy. It makes that job so much easier if he can get Keppinger.
Keppinger lines it to left. That'll get down. Rajai Davis cuts it off, gets it back to the infield quickly, and Keppinger has his third hit of the night, a leadoff single here in the ninth. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here is Ryan Leslie and Jamie Thomas. So Keppinger, big night, 3 hits in 4 at-bats, and he will give way to the pinch runner, Elliott Johnson.
Johnson's got a little speed. And I think they're going to see how this goes right here before they try to have him steal.
Scott hunting fastballs on that first pitch, fouled it back. Elliott Johnson has 17 steals in 23 attempts. He's looking across the diamond at Tom Foley. Luke Scott at the plate.
Again, the Jays playing that shift also, so anything on the ground to the right side, it's going to be a tough double play for Toronto to pull off.
Scott lifts it down the left side. Long run for Rajai Davis. He gets there and makes the catch. Elliott Johnson tagging and advances to second base. Davis made a long run and made a fine running catch. But Elliott Johnson alertly saw that that ball was going to be caught. Goes back to first and tags.
That is a heads-up play. It's a foul ball. As this ball is twisting, that might have been a fair ball. And he goes back, heads-up play, and tags up. And we'll hit it 90 feet. That replay showed that that ball probably was going to stay fair. So a good play by Rajai Davis.
Well, what a heads-up play by Elliott Johnson. You always have to think about getting that extra 90 feet. Obviously, he does that, tagging up on the flyout. Brian Roberts, he's had 2 hits tonight. Carlos Pena has come out on the on-deck circle. Joe Madden continues to look at his matchup sheet. All right, Casey Janssen can really throttle back on that breaking ball.
Well, he's got 2 types. He's got the slider, and he can throw that little curveball in there to really vary his miles per hour to the plate. Got the slider on you too.
Roberts waited to the last possible moment and stays alive. Another breaking ball.
That one spun over the middle of the plate, not where the Blue Jays wanted to put that one. Jansen missed with that breaking ball.
Elliott Johnson represents the tying run at second. Came into the ballgame as a pinch runner for Jeff Keppinger. After those slow breaking balls, you'd be tempted to try to elevate a fastball, but Roberts has got a little pop.
Yeah.
And the ball has been flying.
That's why I was thinking maybe cut it right off the plate. See if he can get the call or the swing. There. Right there.
What a pitch. Roberts didn't like the call, but Casey Janssen has been living on that outside corner all year long.
Couple of slow breaking balls, and you were right on with that one. So speed it up. See if you can get him to take it. Jeff Mathis and Casey Janssen working together as he paints that outside corner. They called it on Adam Lynn earlier in the game on a pitch just like that.
That's a strike. That ball just touching the outside corner. Carlos Pena batting 188. Did not start in the game last night. He comes on to pinch hit for Jose Molina. 2 outs. And Jansen calls Mathis out to the mound. They want to talk things over a bit. Pena 0 for 4 in his matchup. Roberts still steaming over that called third strike. We mentioned Carlos Pena 0 for 4 against Casey Janssen. But he's a long ball threat. It's been a frustrating season for Pena. Batting just 188. But he has 16 home runs.
Yep. Blue Jays pitchers trying to make the Edward Encarnacion home run stand up.
Boy, there's that slow curveball. It's a good pitch. I think that's the one thing Jansen has really learned the last couple of years, that when you get into these pressure situations, you can try easier, and it works.
It really throws off the timing of those hitters, and it makes that fastball that much faster.
That breaking ball got away from him. Evan Longoria has been shut out tonight. He's 0 for 4. The Rays have out-hit the Blue Jays 9-4. But they trail by a run. Elliott Johnson at second. Jeff Keppinger 3 hits tonight. Pena base hit into right. Sierra gets a good hop. Here's Johnson around third. Throw is right on the goal. Mathis holds out for the game winner. Moises Sierra throws a strike, and Mathis threw up a roadblock. He took the shot from Elliott Johnson, and 2 outfield assists today. Sierra saves the game, throwing a strike here in the ninth. Rajay Davis threw out Joyce in the second. What a ball game.
Boy, you couldn't ask for a better throw from Moises Sierra. He saves Casey Janssen, who picked up the save, but he charged it. He got his feet set. He didn't hurry, and he threw a strike to Jeff Mathis. And for the second time in this game, a great throw from the outfielder and a great block by the catcher. Softly hit into right field, sets his feet, and you couldn't ask for a better throw.
Elliott Johnson delivered a shot to Jeff Mathis, but watch Mathis move into the blow. Mathis, a great high school football player, used some of that football technique to block home plate.
Get as low as you can, get lower than the runner, and he blocks him off, shows the umpire the ball. And the guy who took the brunt of that, it's Elliott Johnson. Watch his face go right into the dirt. Mathis holds on, and the Blue Jays win it.
What a ball game. Elliott Johnson gave his heart for that last play. Casey Janssen picks up the save. Brandon Morrow, the winning pitcher. What a ball game. 2 more of them left. Jeff Mathis twice blocks the plate to save runs. Blue Jays win it 2-1. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Here's Connected.